Omakyana Timrandasya Chinansana Shanakya Saksarinmitam Yena Tasmai Shigurave Namah. Shri Chaitanya Manobishtam Stapitam Yena Bhutale Svamrupakadamayam Dadati Svapadantikam Vandeham Shiro Shiyuda Padakamanam Shirum Vaishnavam Sam Shri Rupam Jagajatam Sagana Ragnatam Vitam Tam Sajivan Sadvaitam Savdutam Parjana Saitam Shri Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sagalita Shri Vishakam Vitam Shahe Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dinabandhu Jatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namastate Tapta Kansana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhani Sutadevi Pranamama Hari Priye Vankha Kalptra Vishakre Pasan Vrivasha Padnam Pavanabhyo Vaishnabhyo Namo Namah Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasadi Gaura Bhaktavrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Namo Vishnu Padaya Krishna Vastaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swamiti Namine Namaste Saraswati Devi Gauravani Pracharini Nirvishesha Srinyavadi Paskatyai Desatarani. Today we will discuss in Canto 8, Chapter 23, the Demigods regain the heavenly planets. So I will read the Sanskrit of the first text, so we can start recording. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Narayanam Namaskrityam Naram Shiva Narotanam Devim Saraswatim Vyasam Tato Jamudirayat Nasvesya Bhadrasu Nityam Bharata Sevya Bhagavata Utamasloke Bhaktir Bhavati Naistiki. That's Mother Sakti Svarupini, you can start recording maybe. Shri Shuka Uvacha Ityuktavantam Purusham Puratanam Mahanubhavo Kila Sadhu Sammata Padanjali Baspakala Kulekshano Bhaktyut Kalo Gadaya Gira Bravit. Can someone read, please?
Recording in progress.
Can someone read the first
Sukadeva Goswami. Yes. Sukadeva Goswami said, when the Supreme Ancient Eternal Personality of God had thus spoken to Bali Maharaj, who is universally accepted as a pure devotee of the Lord, and therefore a great soul, Bali Maharaja, his eyes filled with tears, in his hands folded, and his voice flattering in devotional ecstasy, responded as follows.
Yes. Can someone read text 2?
Bali Maharaja said, what a wonderful effect there is in even attempting to offer respectful obeisances to you. I merely endeavored to offer you obeisances, but nonetheless, the attempt was as successful as those of pure devotees. The causeless mercy you have shown to me, a fallen demon, was never achieved even by the demigods or the leaders of the various planets.
Can you also read the purport?
Yes, Maharaj. When Vamanadev appeared before Bali Maharaja immediately wanted to offer him respectful obeisances, but he was unable to do so because of the presence of Sukracarya and other demonic associates. The Lord is so merciful, however, that although Bali Maharaja did not actually offer obeisances, but only endeavored to do so within his mind, the Supreme Personality of Godhead blessed him with more mercy than even the demigods could ever expect. As confirmed in Bhagavad Gita 2.40, Swalpam Abhyasa Dharmasya Trayate Mahato Bhayat. Even a little advancement on this path can protect one from the most dangerous type of fear. The Supreme Personality of Godhead is known as Bhavagrahi Janardana because he takes only the essence of a devotee's attitude. If a devotee sincerely surrenders, the Lord, as the super soul in everyone's heart, immediately understands this. Thus, even though externally a devotee may not render full service, if he is internally sincere and serious, the Lord welcomes his service nonetheless. Thus, the Lord is known as Bhavagrihi Janardana because he takes the essence of one's devotional mentality.
Thank you. So this purport gives hope to the devotees. It's encouraging. If he didn't do that, then what hope do we have? We need mercy. We need mercy, not justice over the good and bad things, about reactions of our karma, no. Since he views us like this, then consider how he views others. Just imagine that he views us in the same way that he views others. That if we act towards others and see their attempt and value, and especially within spiritual institutions, devotees really try their best, although their motivations may be somewhat mixed. They are sincerely trying, and if you manage in a heavy way, people take that of criticism or their sincerity. From their point of view, they are making a sincere endeavor. It is so difficult to manage in a religious, spiritual institution. From the spiritual point, sincerity is all that we have in some sense. All the other factors are made up by Krishna. Bhavagai Janardan. The Lord saw his sincerity, although he was bound with the ropes and could not offer obeisance, he gave himself. We may think that I am chanting for so many years, trying to purify myself, and still this is happening to me and that is happening to me. So Bali Maharaj wasn't seeing this at all. Can someone read text 3, 4, 5 and 6? First text 3.
Hare Krishna. Sukadeva Goswami continued. After speaking in this way, Bali Maharaj offered his obeisances first to the Supreme Personality of Godhead Hari, and then to Lord Brahma and Lord Shiva. Thus he was released from the bondage of the Nagpas, the ropes of Varun, and in full satisfaction he entered the planet known as Sutala.
Sutala. Now text 4.
Thus, having delivered the proprietorship of the heavenly planets to Indra, and having fulfilled the desire of Aditi, mother of the demigods, the Supreme Personality of Godhead ruled the affairs of the universe.
5.
Text 5. When Prahlad Maharaj heard how Bali Maharaj, his grandson and descendant, had been released from bondage and had achieved the benediction of the Lord, he spoke as follows in a tone of greatly ecstatic devotion.
And 6.
Prahlad Maharaj said, O Supreme Personality of Godhead, you are universally worshipped. Even Lord Brahma and Lord Shiva worship your lotus feet. Yet although you are such a great personality, you have kindly promised to protect us, the demons. I think that such kindness has never been achieved even by Lord Brahma, Lord Shiva, or the goddess of fortune, Lakshmi. What to speak of other demigods or common people?
Yeah, but the Lord promised this in the previous chapter. So I'm going back to the previous chapter, chapter 22. And there we have text 35. We will read it again. O great hero, I shall always be with you and give you protection in all respects, along with your associates and paraphernalia. Moreover, you will always be able to see me there. So it's amazing that it takes everything away from Bali Maharaj and from Prahlad Maharaj's grandson, but they are simply appreciative. They know that he is doing it. So a devotee is free from anxiety because everything that happens in this world, he sees Krishna's hand in everything. Now we go back to where we were in chapter 23, and we will go to text 7. Can someone read the translation of text 7, please?
O supreme shelter of everyone, great personalities like Brahma enjoy their perfection simply by tasting the honey of rendering service at your lotus feet. But as for us, who are all rogues and debauchees, born of an envious family of demons, how have we received your mercy? It has been possible only because your mercy is causeless.
So we cannot force to get the mercy of Lord Krishna. One can do his best to attract it, but finally it depends on Krishna. So can someone read the translation of text 8?
O my Lord, your pastimes are all wonderful, performed by your inconceivable spiritual energy, and by her perverted reflection, the material energy, you have created all the universes. As the supersoul of all living entities, you are aware of everything, and therefore you are certainly equal toward everyone. Nonetheless, you favor your devotees. This is not partiality, however, for your characteristic is just like that of a desire tree, which yields everything according to one's desire.
So it's amazing, he says. You are the super soul of all living entities, and you are aware of everything, but nonetheless you favor your devotees. Is that not contradictory? Prahlad Maharaj replies, this is not partiality. He says that there are two principles at work. This is not partiality because the Lord is like a desire tree. So ye yatamam prapachyante, Krishna is reciprocating with the desires of the living entity. Is partial to the devotees because the devotees are partial to him. Is impartial with all others as the law simply applies. Now, you have this purport. In the purport, the Lord says in Bhagavad Gita, Samam sarvabhuteshu namit veshtinapriya, ye bhajantitam bhaktyam maitete sapyaham. So I envy no one, nor am I partial to anyone. I'm equal to all, but whoever renders service unto me in devotion is a friend, is in me, and I'm also a friend to him. So there are two categories here. That there are a non-devotee and a devotee. So everyone can take shelter of the lotus feet of the Lord and get benedictions, but non-devotees do not do so. And consequently, they are under the influence of the law of nature. The facility for devotional service is open to everyone, and therefore is equal to everyone. That further. So the king or government is equal to all citizens. Therefore, if a citizen capable of receiving special favors from the government is offered such favors, this does not mean that the government is partial. That one who knows how to receive favors from the authority can receive them, but one who does not neglect these favors, one who does neglect these favors cannot receive them. The Srila Prabhupada says that Krishna is equal to all citizens. Therefore, if a citizen capable of receiving special favors from the government is offered such favors, this does not mean that the government is partial. One who knows how to receive favors from the authority can receive them, but one who But one who does not do so does not receive them. So Srila Prabhupada,
it is one who neglects, one who does not neglect these favors.
Yeah, but one who does not neglect these favors and does not receive them. So Srila Prabhupada says that Krishna will treat everyone equally, but not everyone takes advantage of what Krishna offers to become a devotee and to get special treatment. From this we learn that we have such an opportunity to surrender to Krishna, which gives us the possibility to attract Krishna's favoritism and get special treatments that cares and protects its devotees. The devotees don't want anything other than taking shelter of the lotus feet of the Lord. So that is Krishna's kindness, and that is open to everyone, irrespective of gender or caste, nationality or family, or even irrespective of one's religion. The door is open. Just sarvadharmam parichaya. Give yourself to Krishna. Accept the fact that every individual soul is a servant of Krishna. Mukti or liberation means that we return to our natural position. It is our actual natural constitutional position. When we place ourselves in that natural position, then we get naturally nourishment to our soul. This is what we lack. We are not in that consciousness, and we have turned our back to Krishna. Something is disturbing us, and I can't figure out what it is. It has to do with our level of relationship with Krishna. When we make the attempt, as Bali Maharaja was saying, then Krishna will see the sincerity in the attempt and will reciprocate accordingly. That is the promise. So the demigods, they are fully aware of the Supreme Lord's position. And therefore they are obedient to him. But even if demons know about the supremacy of the Lord, they purposely defy his authority. Therefore, he is equal to everyone. Like a desire tree, the Lord fulfills the desires of one who takes shelter of him. But one who does not take shelter is distinct from the surrendered soul. One who takes shelter at the lotus feet of the Lord is favored by the Lord, regardless of whether such a person is a demon or a demigod. So the desire tree reciprocates with everyone according to their desires. Because the devotees take shelter, the Lord gives them shelter. But now let us hear how the Lord replies. Can someone read text 9 to 13, please? The only translation.
The
The
Supreme
Supreme Personality of Godhead said, My dear son Prahlad, all good fortune unto you. For the time being, Please go to the place known as Sutala and there enjoy happiness with your grandson and your other relatives and friends. The Supreme Personality of Godhead assured Prahlad Maharaj, "You shall be able to see me there in my usual feature with conch shell, disc, club, and lotus in my hand. Because of your transcendental bliss due to always personally seeing me, you will have no further bondage to fruitive activities."
Yep, 13.
Srila Sukadeva Goswami said, accompanied by Bali Maharaj, "My dear King Parikshit, Prahlad Maharaj, the master of all the chiefs of the demons, took the Supreme Lord's order on his head with folded hands. After saying yes to the Lord, circumambulating him and offering him respectful obeisances, he entered the lower planetary system known as Sutala."
Sutala. So we see here the pastime is over. All the participants are walking off the stage in this drama. Now Sukracarya, what is he thinking all the time? That his words have become true. He told Bali Maharaj not to give this beggar anything because he is the Supreme Lord, and he told them even to lie. He cursed him and said, "You lose everything." And indeed, the curse of Sukracarya was that the demigods was what the demigods were waiting for. The demigods had gone to the Lord and asked him to please help. The Lord said that he could not go against the blessings of Sukracarya. Then Sukracarya withdraws his blessings and curses him. So this was part of the plan. He lost everything. Vamandev would not take anything from him until Sukracarya's blessings were withdrawn. So Sukracarya was angry at Bali Maharaj for not following his order. Not following the order of the spiritual master is to consider the great fault. And now Sukracarya is standing there in the midst of an assembly of priests. And these priests were all Brahmavadis, following the principle of Vedic sacrifice. Now Vamandev is asking Sukracarya what the blemish or fault is of his disciple. And that we will hear further. But first text, can someone read text 13 and 14?
Hari, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Narayan, thereafter addressed Sukracarya, who was sitting nearby in the midst of the assembly, with the priest Brahma, Hota, Udgata, and Advaryu. O Maharaj Parikshit, priest, were all.
Moment, huh? Yeah, you can continue. O Maharaj Parikshit is priest.
Were all Brahmavadis, followers of the Vedic principles for performing sacrifices.
Yeah, and now text 14. Yeah.
O best of the Brahmanas, Sukracarya, please describe the fault or discrepancy in your disciple Bali Maharaj, who engaged in performing sacrifices. This fault will be nullified when judged in the presence of qualified Brahmanas.
So Vamandev is asking Sukracarya, what's the fault of your disciple? So Vamandev is testing Sukracarya. What was his fault before you cursed him for not listening to you? So in the guise of finding the fault in Bala Maharaj, he's testing to look what Sukracarya has understood. The next verse is extremely important. Can someone read text 15?
Hare Krishna. Sukracarya said, "My Lord, you are the enjoyer and lawgiver in all performances of sacrifice, and you are the Yagya Purusha, the person to whom all sacrifices are offered. If one has fully satisfied you, where is the chance of discrepancies or faults in his performances of sacrifice?"
So he's saying that Bali Maharaj was indeed faultless. only a superficial fault, because you are satisfied. This superficial fault is only on the surface and it has no meaning. Now 16, a very important verse. Can someone read 16? Yeah.
There may be discrepancies in pronouncing the mantras and observing the regulatory principles. And moreover, there may be discrepancies in regard to time, place, persons, and the paraphernalia. But when your Lordship's holy name is chanted, everything becomes faultless.
Sukracarya is saying there may be some discrepancy in the process, the tantra, in the pronunciation of the mantras. There may be some faults according with doing the sacrifice exactly according to time and place, but otherwise there is no result, and even the opposite result may occur. All these externals of the performance are perfect when there is constantly chanting of your holy name. So therefore, everything we may do, even as faulty it may be, our attempts should be accompanied by ideally constantly chanting the holy name. Not that one should chant with the idea of nullify the bad effects of the faults. This is an offense against the holy name. So can someone read now the purport of this verse?
Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu has recommended Hare Nama, Hare Nama, Hare Nama eva kevalam. Kalam nastirva gatiranyatha. In this age of quarrel and hypocrisy, the only means of deliverance is chanting the holy name of the Lord. There is no other way, there is no other way, there is no other way. In this age of Kali, it is extremely difficult to perform Vedic ritualistic ceremonies or sacrifices perfectly. Hardly anyone can chant the Vedic mantras with perfect pronunciations or accumulate the paraphernalia for Vedic performances. Therefore, the sacrifice recommended in this age is Sankirtana, constant chanting of the holy name of the Lord. Yajna Sankirtana Praye Yajantihi Sumetasaha. Instead of wasting time performing Vedic sacrifices, those who are intelligent, those who possess good brain substance should take to the chanting of the Lord's holy name and thus perform sacrifice perfectly. I have seen that many religious leaders are addicted to performing yajnas and spending hundreds and thousands of rupees for imperfect sacrificial performances. This is a lesson for those who unnecessarily execute such imperfect sacrifices. We should take the advice of the Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, Yajna Sankirtana Praye Yajanti Sumetasaha. Although Sukracarya was a strict Brahmana, addicted to ritualistic activities, he also admitted Nishchidam Anusankirtanam Tava. My Lord, constant chanting of the holy name of your Lordship makes everything perfect. In Kali Yuga, the Vedic ritualistic ceremonies cannot be performed as perfectly as before. Therefore, Srila Jiva Goswami has recommended that although one should take care to follow all the principles in every kind of spiritual activity, especially in worship of the deity, there is still a chance of discrepancies, and one should compensate for this by chanting the holy name of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. In our Krishna conscious movement, we therefore give special stress to the chanting of the Hare Krishna mantra in all activities.
Okay, that's clear. Text. Can someone read text 17?
Lord Vishnu, I must nonetheless act in obedience to your order because obeying your order is most auspicious and is the first duty of everyone.
So he concluded that Bali Maharaja was indeed faultless, and therefore the fault of criticizing Bali Maharaja was his fault. By judging a fault in the presence of qualified Brahmins, the fault is removed. Of course, Sukracarya's own fault was removed by judging, by noting his own fault in the presence of the Lord and the Brahmins. Now can someone read text 18 to 21?
In this way, the most powerful Sukracarya accepted the order of the Supreme Personality of Godhead with full respect. Along with the best Brahmanas, he began to compensate for the discrepancies in the sacrifices performed by Bali Maharaja.
Yes, then continue.
Text 19. Yes, Maharaj. O King Parikshit, thus having taken all the land of Bali Maharaja by begging, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Lord Vamanadeva, delivered to his brother Indra all the land taken away by Indra's enemy.
And 2021 also.
Lord Brahma, the master of King Daksha and all other Prajapatis, accompanied by all the demigods, the great saintly persons, the inhabitants of Pitraloka, the Manus, the Munis, and such leaders as Daksha, Bhrigu, and Angira, as well as Kartikeya and Lord Shiva, accepted Lord Vamanadeva as the protector of everyone. He did this for the pleasure of Kashyapa Muni and his wife Aditi, and for the welfare of all the inhabitants of the universe, including their various leaders.
So, thank you. So, because the devotees Kashyapa and Aditi desired him to come, therefore he came. So he came for the upliftment of the universe, who was in a difficult position because of the demoniac elements gained too much control. Now can someone else read text 23 till 25?
Open Parikshit, Indra was considered the king of all universe, but the demigods, headed by Lord Brahma, wanted Upendra, Lord Vamanadev, as a protector of the Vedas, the principles of religion, fame, opulence, auspiciousness, vows, elevation to the higher planetary system, and liberation. Thus they accepted Upendra, Lord Vamanadev, as the supreme master of everything. This decision made all living entities extremely happy.
Okay, 24.
Thereafter, along with all the leaders of the heavenly planets, Indra, the king of heaven, placed Lord Vamanadev before him and, with the approval of Lord Brahma, brought him to the heavenly planet in a celestial airplane. 25 also.
Yeah.
Indra, king of heaven, being protected by the arms of Vamanadev, the supreme personality of Godhead, thus regained his rule of the three worlds and was reinstated in his own position, supremely opulent, fearless, and fully satisfied.
So it's interesting that Indra placed himself under the Lord. He was fully happy because he was a devotee of Vamandev, who is the actual ruler, the Supreme Lord. When Bali took over, then Indra was not happy with that. He was happiest under the protection of the Supreme Lord. Now, can someone read 26 till 28?
Lord Brahma, Lord Shiva, Lord Kartikeya, the great sage Bhrigu, other saintly persons, the inhabitants of Pitraloka and all other living entities present, including the inhabitants of Siddhaloka and living entities who travel in outer space by airplane, all glorified the uncommon activities of Lord Vamanadeva. O King, while chanting about and glorifying the Lord, they return to their respective heavenly planets. They also praised position of Aditi.
Yeah, 28.
O Maharaj Parikshit, pleasure of your dynasty, I have now described to you everything about the wonderful activities of the Supreme Personality of Godhead Vamanadeva. Those who hear about this are certainly freed from all the results of sinful activities.
Yes, this is the benefit of hearing this pastime. When we hear this pastime, our tendency to surrender and serve increases. The sinful reactions that we carry in our heart are removed. This is one benediction. It frees one from all sinful activities when we hear this pastime. And that can summary text 29.
One who is subject to death cannot measure the glories of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Trivikrama, Lord Vishnu, any more than he can count the number of atoms on the entire planet Earth. No one, whether born already or destined to take birth, is able to do this.
Yeah. So this has been sung by the great sage Vasista. So Vasista Muni has given a mantra about Lord Vishnu. Nate Vishnu Jayamano Najato Mayimna Patram Anantam Apa. No one can estimate the extent of the uncommonly glorious activities of Lord Vishnu. Unfortunately, there are so-called scientists who are subject to death at every moment. But they are trying to understand by speculation the wonderful creation of the cosmos. This is a foolish attempt. So long ago, Vasista Muni said that no one in the past could measure the glories of the Lord, and that no one can do so in the future. One must simply be satisfied with seeing the glorious activities of the Supreme Lord's creation. That the Lord therefore says in Bhagavad Gita, Vistabhyaham idam kritshnam ekam stito. With a single fragment of myself, I pervade and support this entire universe. Yeah. Just a moment. That so it's the question is here, who is set ecological system? Hare Krishna, there was an interruption. That just a moment. So we have read the first part of this purport. Hare Krishna, I'm back. Sorry for the interruption. We have just read the first part of this purport of 29.
Recording in progress.
So the question is, who has set the ecological system in place? Plants are absorbing carbon dioxide carbon dioxide, and they are giving us, plants give us oxygen. And that happens through the process of photosynthesis. So oxygen is necessary for humans and animals to breathe. By studying nature, we get a hint of the greatness of the Lord. And this universe is maintained, Krishna says, by one eka amsa, one portion of the Lord's energy. Then just try to imagine how potent the Supreme Lord is. And he's so potent that even if he's in the form of a dwarf Brahman, so unlimited, inconceivably potent. He lifts his toe and pierces the universe we have seen, but even that is not the extent of his potency. We are approaching the 10th canto, and these pastimes are preparing us for that. Lord Krishna wanders in Vrindavan and plays his flute, and he maintains all the universes. He is still unlimitedly powerful, although he looks an ordinary cowboy. We must say that he is the most extraordinary powerful one. His activities are Naralila. They are mimicking the activities, they are imitating the activities of a human being. But they are not the activities of a human being. Now, we will read the last part here of the purport. So the material world consists of innumerable universes, each one full of innumerable planets, which are all considered to be products of the Supreme Personality of God's material energy. So this is one universe. He has innumerable universes. They are all filled with innumerable planets, and these material universes altogether is only 1/4 of God's creation. So this shows his unlimited potency. That continue the purport. Yet this is only 1/4 of God's creation. The other 3/4 of creation constitute the spiritual world. Among the innumerable planets, in only one universe, the so-called scientists cannot understand even the moon and Mars, but they try to defy the creation of the Supreme Lord and his uncommon energy. Such men have been described as crazy. Nama pramatako te vikarma. This King Rishabhadev's teaching is 554. Such crazy men unnecessarily waste time, energy, and money in attempting to defy the glorious activities of Urkram, the personality of Godhead. Can someone read text 30 and 31?
If one hears about the uncommon activities of the Supreme Personality of Godhead in his various incarnations, he is certainly elevated to the higher planetary system.
Or even brought back home, back to
Godhead. Even brought back home, back to Godhead.
Yes. And next, 31.
Whenever the activities of Vamanadeva are described in the course of a ritualistic ceremony, whether the ceremony be performed to please the demigods, to please one's forefathers in Pitriloka, or to celebrate a social event like a marriage, that ceremony should be understood to be extremely auspicious.
Yes. You can also read the purport.
There are 3 kinds of ceremony in personality of Godhead or the demigods. Those performed for social celebrations like marriages and birthdays, and those meant to please the forefathers like the Shraddha ceremony. In all these ceremonies, large amounts of money are spent for various activities, but Here it is suggested that if along with this there is recitation of the wonderful activities of Vamanadeva, certainly the ceremony will be carried out successfully and will be free of all discrepancies.
Yeah, that this is the effect of reciting the Lila of Lord Vamandev. That Any questions or comments, please, on this pastime? This is the end of the Bali Maharaj Lila after many chapters, because the next chapter is completely different. Yes.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Madre
Our hearts
Canto.
and devotees. I have a question about this planet Sutala. Is it an eternal planet? Does it mean that Bali Maharaja and Prabhupada Maharaja will reside there eternally? Or is it just until Bali Maharaja will become Indra, and after that he will go to another place, to the spiritual world?
It is not an eternal planet. It is one of the lower planets. But it is made more opulent than usual by Vamandev, because Vishvakarma built the place, built it according to the will of Lord Vamandev, and therefore it was much more opulent than even the lower planetary system. That but it's sometimes also called, I think, the sub-heavenly planets. That in terms of cosmology, it's not so far from here. But yeah, that's not my expertise. Not much I can say about that. But it is not a spiritual planet. And Bali Maharaj in the next Manu will become the Indra. This next Manu, that means, I think, we are now in the 28th cycle of 4 yugas. That one day of Brahma is 1,000 of these cycles, and the life of one Manu, I think, is 74 of these yugas. So we have still 74, 28, still 46 cycles to go. And then we will come to the next Manu. And the next Manu, as we heard, the managerial system changes, a new Indra, and there will be a new 7 sages, new demigods for different posts. That's a managerial system. So then at that time, Bali Maharaj will become Indra, the king of heaven, because he desired it. His desire will be fulfilled. But I don't know how long these demons live. But it seems in his next life he will become Indra. That's what we understand from the past time. Does that help, Mother Canto?
Thank you. Just when we hear about it, I sometimes wonder why the Lord didn't set such devotees directly to the spiritual world, because they were so pure, so devoted.
Yeah, but that's clarified. He did not do that because he respects the desire of Bali Maharaj. Bali Maharaj wanted to be Indra and is arranging for him to be Indra in his next life. And then after that, probably will go back to Godhead. But it's already for devotees serving in this world or in the spiritual world. It's the same as going back to Godhead because they are in spiritual consciousness. They are always connected with the Lord. That's
Thank you.
But it shows we should be careful with what we desire. That because when we become devotees, we chant Hare Krishna. Krishna is like a desire tree. But of course we approach Krishna with material desires. Krishna says that also in Bhagavad Gita. Shatur vidyabhajanti mam yechana sukatarana arto shikhnashur artarti jnana sabharatarshava. There are 4 kinds of neophytes that approach me. Those who are in distress, those who are curious, and those who want wealth, and those who want the absolute truth. So we want to know the absolute truth. So the last is the purest, the best. But we approach Krishna always with material desires in the beginning. But in the process we become purified. And Bali Maharaj is also becoming purified probably. But he was already a pure devotee. But that desire was there, and Krishna respects it. Hare Krishna. Anything else? Please. That this the process of surrender. That surrender usually is something what grows in our heart, and that's also explained in the purport here. At the end it is said, yes, so one who hears this pastime, his desire to surrender to the Supreme Lord will increase. So we have to try to become like Bali Maharaj and tolerate everything and continue to serve the Lord. Even if everyone is against us, we continue to serve the Lord. And then Krishna will reciprocate with us as he has done with Bali Maharaj. So that's the best thing we can do, to surrender to the Supreme Lord and give up our surrender to so many things in this world, which is senseless. It leads only to suffering. And those are lessons we have to learn from this pastime. Are we ready to do it? To what extent are we ready to do it? Any other questions or comments? So.
Hare Krishna, excuse me, if no one is speaking, can I also ask another question?
Yeah, sure.
It's about Sukracarya and their talk with Vamanadeva. I wonder that in several cases in Srimad Bhagavatam, some persons are actually guilty by doing some bad things, like Sukracarya was actually guilty by cursing the innocent Bali Maharaja, but there is no, I forgot this English word, but they don't say that I'm sorry, for example, or I was to blame. They just behave as if nothing happened. I wonder, is it like a Vedic etiquette that the Lord sees that this person is actually feeling guilty, or it's not necessary to say I'm sorry? I'm sorry, I'm just thinking about how we behave in such situations.
Yeah, it's important. In that principle we discussed there, that was discussed in in these verses, the Lord says, if a fault is discussed and revealed in the presence of Brahmins, then the reactions, the fault is nullified. It goes away. And that is what Sukracarya did. He admitted his fault, but indirectly. It did not directly say, but it can be concluded from what he's saying that because he's saying Bali, he does not say I was in fault. He says Bali Maharaja was faultless. He says that implies that he was in fault very clearly. So he had admitted it. And therefore, because he admitted it, the fault was nullified by the mercy of Lord Vamandev. So that's important also for us, that if something goes wrong, we should always think the fault lies in me. And we have learned that also in the pastime of Jai and Vijay. Jai and Vijay were cursed by the four Kumaras. And immediately Lord of Vaikuntha came to the gate, being concerned with his servants to be cursed, that they were cursed. And the first thing Lord of Vaikuntha said that please forgive me, it's my fault. I'm responsible for the behavior of my servants. It's my fault. So Lord of Vaikuntha says it's my fault. Everyone in this world says it's not my fault, it's the other. But a devotee thinks always it's my fault. And that's very important, that you don't see in elections someone who is humble, who says so good, who says, I'm not so good, maybe better you elect the other one. No, what are they saying? I'm the best, and the other one is nonsense, and they criticize like anything. That's complete the opposite as a devotee. A devotee thinks always the fault lies in me. And that Sukracarya, he was in front of the Lord, he must have been purified. And he admitted, but not directly, that he was glorifying Lord Vamandev and was glorifying also Bali Maharaja. But he understood, I'm in fault. That by that understanding and that accepting, the fault was nullified. That is also important for us. That if we are humble and we are admitting, yes, I'm at fault, then it's nullified. But if out of false ego we think, no, it's the other one, then you are contacting the material energy and will get all the reactions. But when we accept the fault, we accept also the karma, everything related, and the chain of action-reaction stops. Therefore, in all our actions, we should be very thoughtful. If we have that knowledge, be careful what we do. We should not be afraid of becoming humiliated. Mostly, when you accept a fault, that then people will accept it. That at least devotees, they will accept it, yes. And there is no further discussion. It stops. Everything becomes peaceful. So this is an aspect we can learn also from this pastime, Bali Maharaj was feeling very, very he was feeling that, I did not serve the Lord properly. Because that is, a devotee wants to serve the Lord always first class. And if he's short of the mark, he feels, yes, that I'm at fault, I could have done better. And that's, so humility it is humility in action. That does that help?
Thank you.
Something else? Okay, then tomorrow we will start a complete different pastime. The pastime of Matsya Avatar, the final chapter of the 8th Canto. It's a very joyful pastime, very interesting, that and probably we will have 2 lessons on this, that tomorrow and the day after. Thank you very much. I'm looking forward to see you tomorrow. Jai Prabhupada.
Recording stopped.